Welcome back to Kids Planning. I'm Peyton.
And I'm Jared.
And today we're going to teach you how to play the key.
Sabotage at Lucky Llama Land.
It's time to put your detective hats on because someone sabotaged Lucky Llama Land and it's your job to figure out who.
And where, and when, and what they used to do it. We'll explain it all in just a minute.
The Key is a logic deduction game for 1 to 4 players from designer Thomas Singh and HABA, who helped sponsor this video.
There are 3 games in the Key series: Sabotage at Lucky Llama Land, Murder at the Oakdale Club, and Theft at Cliffrock Villa, which will be coming out later this year. All 3 games have unique challenges to solving the mystery, but the overall mechanics and gameplay are the same. So we're using Sabotage at Lucky Llama Land for this tutorial because it's the simplest of the 3 games and the best for younger players. The version we're using in this video is the one sold in North America, which is both English and French on the cards.
The game includes the briefcase screens, investigation files, clue cards, markers, wooden keys, a mirror card, and the solution board. To set up the game, give everyone a briefcase screen and an investigation file.
These are all identical. Put the solution board to the side for now. Then spread all the clue cards in the middle of the table with the side with the colored boxes facing up. Then randomly select one of the keys and put that key and the mirror card in the middle of the table where everyone can reach them.
When you're playing at home, you'll have your briefcase set up like this, facing toward you so everything is secret.
But we're going to lay it flat for this video so that everyone can see everything.
In the game, multiple rides have been sabotaged at Lucky Llama Land, and it's your job to figure out the case.
This is not a cooperative game. Each player is trying to solve the case on their own. All of the evidence has been collected, but it's your job to connect all of the pieces together. During the game, players will be taking clues on the table to gather information and solve the case. And you'll mark off information on your briefcase as you figure things out. You can't look at the actual clue before you take it. You can only look at the back of the cards.
Yeah.
And you can shuffle them around so you can see the whole back of the card. But once you flip it over, you have to take it.
There's no turns. Everyone takes clues as they need them, and you don't share this information with any of the other players.
Once everyone thinks they have solved the case, you check the results and tally up the scores. But we'll talk about that later. For now, let's talk about the case.
We have these 3 suspects in custody.
Each of them sabotaged a different ride on a different day, each using different tools, and it's your job to use clue cards to figure out exactly who sabotaged which ride, what tool they used, and what day they did it. As you're investigating, you will need to combine the information on the clue cards with the information in the case files to solve the case. And you'll mark off information in your briefcase as you figure things out.
If there's a clue card that doesn't make sense, check the case file to see if there's any helpful information in there. The case file also has a map on the back that's going to be really important for some of the clues.
In the briefcase, there are 3 dates: May 5th, 6th, and 8th. One ride was sabotaged on each of those days, and you have to figure out the details for each of those crimes.
So now let's look at some of these clue cards. This one's really simple. The pliers were not used on May 5th. So we can use this to mark the pliers off of May 5th in the briefcase.
So later, if you found a card that said the pliers were used on the log ride, or that this guy used the pliers, then you can mark those off of May 5th as well, since you know for sure that the pliers weren't used on May 5th. This card says that he sabotaged before her, so I know that he couldn't have sabotaged on the last day since he sabotaged before somebody. Some clues will let you figure out information right away, and some of them will have to be combined with information you get later.
For some clues, you have to use the map, like these. This one says there's no park entrance near the crime scene on May 8th. So you would need to look at the map and find all the crime scenes and figure out which ones are near the entrance.
The photo clues will always show a photo that was taken at one of the park's photo locations that are marked on the map with this icon. The photo will always be taken near one of the sabotage rides, even though it might not show the ride in the photo. You have to use your detective skills to figure out exactly where the photo was taken and what clues you can gather from it.
So now that you understand how the clues work, let's talk about the different parts of the clue cards. Every card has these colored boxes on them. One of these boxes matches the key color that you picked at the beginning of the game, in this case the orange key.
If a card has a box that matches the key color, then it's relevant to the case you're working on. If the card doesn't have a box matching the key, then it isn't, like this one. It doesn't have orange, so it's not relevant to the case we're working on. Make sure you only take clues for your case. Otherwise, they'll give you wrong information.
This number is how many investigative points the card is worth. The higher the number, the more valuable the information.
But when it comes time to score, you want to have the fewest investigative points, so be careful taking high-value cards. In the top corner of each card is an icon that tells you what kind of clue the card has. There's witness statements and 3 types of live cards: shoe prints, show tickets, and snapshots.
The witness statement cards have clear information on them, like this one, who was not in the park on May 5th.
The lab cards require you to do more investigative work, but they're usually more helpful. They don't have any text on the back, just pictures, and you have to figure out what those pictures mean to the case. Shoe print cards show multiple shoe prints found in a specific crime scene, and you need to use the mirror to find the one that matches one of the shoes in the case file. The shoes in the case file are all left shoes, and the shoes on the cards are all right shoes. So if you look at the clue card with the mirror, you can find a shoe print in the case file that matches it exactly. This is a tricky clue, so pay attention to all of the little details.
Ticket cards show you the tickets that were in a certain suspect's pocket. You can use those tickets in the show schedule to find out really valuable information.
And finally, the snapshot cards have a picture taken at one of the photo stations around the park. You can use the picture and the park map to figure out information about the case. And then each card has 2 category icons that tell you what kind of information the card has on it. The categories could be the perpetrator, the date of the crime, the tool used, the crime scene, or which crime it's about. You can use this information to narrow down which clues you take once you start figuring things out.
As you investigate, mark things off as you figure things out. Once you know for sure something was on a certain date, you can circle it.
Only one person, one tool, and one ride apply to each date. So if you can confirm that a ride was sabotaged on the 5th, you can mark it off of the other dates. And be sure to check back through your clues regularly in case there was information that you couldn't use when you drew it. It might be useful now with some of the new information you have.
The first person to solve all 3 crimes takes the key from the middle of the table.
Then, once everyone thinks they have everything figured out, it's time to see who solved the case correctly. You should have 1 perpetrator, 1 tool, and 1 ride circled on each date. Compare each row of information to this chart on the side of the briefcase to get a number. So in this example, I had the knife, the stun gun, and then the pliers. If I look over here and find the same order, that gives me the number 3. So I will put a 3 in this middle space here. Then I find the number with the matching order of my suspects, which is 5, then the rides, which is 2. So I have the number 5, 3, 2. To check the result, find the number on the solution board. If you can't find the number at all, then you already know you were wrong. But if you do find the number, which is right here, take the key and put it through the hole. Then flip the entire solution board over. If you were right, the key will be sticking through the same color tag. So in this case, we were wrong, on purpose, because we don't want to spoil anything. If the next person had a different code, they would check their results the same way. If nobody got it right, then you need to do some more investigating and figure out where you went wrong.
If only one person got it right, then they're the winner!
If multiple people got it right, then you add up the investigative points on the front of the cards each player took, and the person with the lowest score wins. If the person who took the key had the right code, they get to discard one of their lowest number cards before they count their score. If there's a tie, then the player who used the fewest clue cards wins. If there's still a tie, then everybody just shares the victory.
There's 9 keys in the box, so that means there's 9 different ways the case can be solved.
But unless you have a really good memory, once you get through all the different colors, you can probably go back and do them all again without having too much of an advantage.
So just a quick recap. Everyone gets a briefcase and a case file. Then you spread out all the clue cards on the table and pick a key color. And then everyone starts collecting clues at the same time and solving the case. But make sure you're only taking clues that match the key color.
The first person to solve the case takes the key. And then, once everyone thinks they had the case solved, everyone compares the results to this chart on the briefcase to get a number code. Then, they find that code on the results board and use the key to see if they were right.
Whoever has the lowest investigative score wins.
So pay attention to the clues you're taking and the kind of information you need to solve the crime.
And that's the key, Sabotage at Lucky Llama Land.
Remember, there's 3 games in this series that all use the same basic mechanics, but they each have different difficulty levels and types of clues to solve, so be sure to check those games out too.
If you have any questions, or if you have a game you want us to teach, leave us a comment. Thanks for watching.
And be sure to subscribe right here
And watch our other videos over here.
See you later.
Bye!